Freen and Becky, lovers or just co-stars? The question that never fades. For years, fans have asked one question, whispered in comment sections, discussed in fan spaces, and speculated across continents. Are Freen and Becky just co-stars or something much more? Ever since their unforgettable pairing in Gap, the series, Freen Sorocha and Becky Armstrong, have been at the center of a phenomenon that transcended television. Their connection, effortless, natural, and magnetic, felt too real to be scripted. Each look, each smile, each subtle gesture between them seemed to carry a secret language only the two understood. And fans around the world felt it too. That spark that blurred the line between acting and emotion. When fiction started feeling real. When Gap premiered, it wasn't just another GL drama. It was a revolution. The chemistry between Freen and Becky was undeniable from the very first episode. Not just as characters, but as two people discovering something that even cameras couldn't fully capture. Behind the scenes, crew members often described how the air changed when the two were together. Freen's usual confidence softened around Becky, while Becky seemed to glow brighter in Freen's presence. During one interview, when asked how she managed to portray love so genuinely, Becky smiled shyly and said, "It didn't feel like acting." And that one line was all it took to send fans into a frenzy. Off-screen moments that spoke volumes. From joint fan meets to photo shoots, every public appearance of Freen Becky became a masterclass in unspoken affection. They finished each other's sentences, shared inside jokes, and exchanged glances that no camera could miss. When Becky once had to film a particularly emotional scene, Freen stayed behind even after her part was done, quietly watching, cheering, and offering comfort the moment the director yelled, "Cut." Later, during an event in Manila, fans caught Freen gently wiping something off Becky's face mid-performance. The crowd screamed. The clip went viral in minutes. It wasn't a kiss. It wasn't a confession. But it felt like one. The fans who fell in love with their love. What started as admiration turned into devotion. The Freen Becky fandom became one of the most powerful communities in Asian entertainment. Not just shipping them, but celebrating the sincerity and respect they showed each other. Fan edits trended worldwide. Hashtags like #FreenBeckyForever and #LoveIsReal hit millions of views. One viral tweet read, "They don't need to say it. The way they look at each other says everything." For many, Freen and Becky weren't just actors, they were hope. Hope that love could be real, gentle, and fearless. The line between friendship and love. But fame has a way of complicating everything. As their popularity grew, so did the pressure. Every post, every interview, every touch was analyzed, debated, sometimes even criticized. They began to draw clearer lines. Freen speaking more about professionalism, Becky emphasizing privacy. Yet even in the midst of that boundary, there was warmth. The kind that doesn't fade, no matter how much you try to hide it. When asked if they were just friends, Freen answered with a mysterious smile. "We care deeply for each other. That's all I'll say." And Becky added softly, "Some things are best understood, not explained." Fans didn't need more. Those two sentences carried more weight than any confirmation could. Rumors, reactions, and reality. Over time, rumors came and went. Dating speculations, alleged falling outs, even talk of jealousy from other projects. But every time the noise grew too loud, Freen and Becky seemed to reunite stronger than before. They continued attending events together, posting shared memories, and showing that no matter what, their bond was unbreakable. In a live broadcast, when a fan commented, "You two look like soulmates," Becky laughed and looked at Freen, who replied without hesitation, "Maybe that's because we are." The clip broke the internet. Fans cried, laughed, and flooded timelines with captions like, "That's not acting. That's real love disguised as friendship." When distance felt like silence. As they began exploring solo projects, fans noticed fewer joint appearances. Schedules, travel, and industry demands began to take their toll. But every small reunion, even months later, reignited the same spark. At a fan event in Thailand, they were seated apart for most of the show. Yet when Becky reached for a drink, Freen instinctively leaned forward to hand her one. No words. Just care. Just history. That simple gesture reminded fans that sometimes love doesn't fade. It just grows quieter. More than labels. So, are Freen and Becky lovers? Or just co-stars with exceptional chemistry? The truth may never be spoken, but perhaps it doesn't need to be. What they share is something deeper than romance and more powerful than fame. It's connection. It's understanding. It's love in whatever form they choose it to exist. As one fan beautifully wrote, they might not call it love, but the rest of us already do. Final thoughts. Freen and Becky redefined what on-screen chemistry means. They blurred the lines between fiction and emotion, leaving fans wondering where the acting ended, and where the truth began. Maybe they were lovers. Maybe they were just co-stars. But to millions who have watched them grow, laugh, and share their story, they will always be something more. Because sometimes, the most beautiful relationships are the ones that never need a label.